Okay, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jeremy Allen Sneed, file number 21-20208FH, which is, I believe, a violation of probation file. And then I have file number 23-21384FH, which is a pretrial. This is the date and time. Basically, this will be a final pretrial. We have trial scheduled for March 6th at 10:30 a.m. So, Mr. Malaro, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, I believe we are still scheduled for trial, and that has been confirmed. But we are still trying to resolve the matter.
Okay, well, what I would ask is, because this jury has been working overtime, panel, that if the matter gets resolved, we take care of it before 5 p.m. the day before the trial, just so that my jury doesn't come in. All right.
And Jeremy, I'll be over probably later today to talk to you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sneed.
All right.
Jeremy Sneed, not Isaac Sneed. All right. All right, I have a gentleman joining me from MDOC, or what is your name, sir?
Randall Lambert.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. All right, that is yours, Miss Underwood.
It is, Your Honor. Could I have a breakout with Mr. Armour?
Well, if you can let me call the case first. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Mario Cornelius Armour, file number 23-21339FH. This is the date and time scheduled for arraignment. Pretrial in this matter. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Armour, and I have Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. So I'm going to, Mr. Armour, open a breakout room and give you a brief chance to speak with Miss Underwood. Mr. Armour, audio is not the best in the room you're in, so understand she may have to have you speak up, okay?
Okay.
All right, and nope, I just put the wrong one in there. Hold on. Let me try that again. MPD courtroom. Okay, there you go. I'm going to open that breakout room and you are all set. All right, Katerina Dumont.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. I have Jonathan Garnier, just like the shampoo he told me last time. So, are you here on that one today?
Yes.
Oh, look, you match your walls. Okay, I'm gonna, very pretty.
Thank you.
I'll let him in. All right, where'd he go? Mr. Garnier, why don't you go ahead and unmute your device and start your video, please.
Okay, how do I, can you hear me?
You're perfect, you got it, you got it.
Okay.
Yep, you did it. Okay, so let me find you on my docket. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jonathan Andrew Garnier. File numbers 23-21651FH, 23-21652FH, and 23-21653FH. I need a prosecutor, please. Who's my prosecutor on this one? I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people, and I have Katerina Dumont appearing on behalf of Mr. Garnier. So, Ms. Dumont, how do you wish to proceed today?
Your Honor, I've spoken with Mr. Daly with regards to this case, and he asked me just to set it for trial.
Okay, so let me get trial paperwork.
And so,
We have Mr. Garnier, hold on a minute. So,
Okay.
the oldest file, let's see, we have home invasion, weapons, carrying concealed. So the trial file. All right, so the first trial would be on file number 23-21651 FH, which is home invasion, second degree. So would 2 days be suitable for that?
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
All right. Two days. Okay, so that's fine. And Mr. Garnier is not in custody, which is good for me. We're just like back. All right, I have Russell versus Drabeck settled. That's kind of nice. Is a month too close to prepare?
Yes, it is. I think we should have it resolved. I think the defendant qualifies for Veterans Court, so I'm not sure why it's being set for trial.
Okay. Well, I don't have any close trial dates, and we're looking at Tuesday, Castro Oliveras, that's a 1-day jury trial. I'm looking at I can back it up to a trial on May 28th and May 29th.
That works on our end.
Yeah, thanks, Judge.
5/28 of 24, first day would start at 9 a.m. And it would be 1352. It would be second. There is a primary file on that day, Joel Orozco. So, all right. So trial date is May 28. Then I am going to set a final pretrial for May 15. Make sure I'm here. I have a conference. So I'll set a final pretrial for May 15 or 24. That will be the motion deadline as well. And I will need May 15. I will need all voir dire questions as well as juror instructions provided to the court by May 8th. Do a pretrial or a plea deadline. All right, so all files will be set for pretrial on May 15. Okay, I filled out a scheduling order and we should be all set. So, Mr. Garnier, just stay in contact with Mr. Daly and Ms. Dumont, and we'll see you back at the pretrial, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Dumont, if there is a resolution that's reached that involves Veterans Court or plea or whatever it might be, I would just ask that you call Ms. Adams and schedule it in for a plea on a day that's not a Wednesday.
1 second.
Okay.
All right.
Judge,
Yes.
I would like it placed on the record that he has been approved for the Veterans Court.
Okay. All right. So very good. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're all set, Mr. Garnier. Have a good Valentine's Day.
Thank you. You as well.
Smith. No. Okay, let's see, I've got even more Zoom rooms. Okay, Emily Smith? Is that you, Emily Smith?
Yeah.
All right, I'm not getting really good audio on you, so, and it's not your fault, but I'm gonna need you to speak up, okay?
Okay.
Still not getting good audio. You're not in a pod, are you? No, you're in a room.
Yeah.
All right, will you let them know we can't hear you?
Okay, yeah, because I'm right on top of the audio or the mic, I mean.
Are you even picking it up?
It's garbled up, Judge.
Yeah, tell them that your audio is not working. Well, say something standing up. I'm sorry.
Is this any better?
A little bit.
A little bit, maybe, all right, just stand up for a moment and we'll see what we can figure out.
Okay.
All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Emily Ann Marie Smith. We have two files, 22-21177 FH for a violation of probation and 23-21352 FH for a new file. I do. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of Ms. Smith, and I'm gonna guess it's Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pretrial in this matter. Mr. Malaro, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, may I have a breakout with Ms. Smith?
Okay,
To see which option she wants.
okay, so I'm gonna, hold on, I gotta close my other breakout rooms.
A lot of people find out.
Okay, hold on. All right, so Ms. Smith is in jail room 8 and Mr. Malaro. Okay, I am opening the breakout room. All right, so Ms. Underwood, we are back with Mr. Armour. Have you had a chance to speak with Mr. Armour?
I have, Your Honor.
And how would you like to proceed on behalf of Mr. Armour?
Your Honor, I sent Mr. Armour some discovery the other day that he had requested, and we are reviewing that and trying to come up with a satisfactory resolution to this matter. I would ask for one more adjournment, Your Honor.
Okay. How far out would you like that?
Probably would 6 weeks be appropriate, Your Honor?
Sure. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How about April 10?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
And I
so
would be
Mr.
happy to do this stip in order with Mr.
Okay.
or with Ms. McClure's permission.
Judge, the only thing I want to make sure is that we did place the forensic on the record.
Well, I don't have anything from the forensic center.
I know it was on January 3rd. It was our last pretrial, and I have a note here that said Rhonda didn't want to put the conclusion of the criminal responsibility on the record yet because she hadn't gone over it with the defendant yet.
Oh,
I do. I have one from April 25 of 23.
Okay, maybe
we have a criminal responsibility from, like, I think it's September or October.
Oh, yeah, the competency was placed on the record back in April, so this is just criminal responsibility, and we don't need to put that on the record. Okay.
I just was going over my notes, that's all.
All right, thank you. All right, so Mr. Armour, we will see you back on April 10 at 8:30 in the morning, and Ms. Underwood is really good about getting in and meeting with people. Sometimes we struggle because of the volume of people at MDOC, but she will talk to you, okay?
All right, have a good Valentine's Day.
You have a good Valentine's Day too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I have Blake Barton now. Miss Underwood is in yours.
I'm sorry.
Blake Barton's mine, Your Honor.
Oh, yep. All right. And that must be you as well.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Barton is connecting. Let's see. So I have a window from a correctional facility and it's just a black screen. Is there anybody in that room? All right, Mr. Barton, can you hear me? Blake Barton, can you hear me? Mr. Barton? Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let me turn
good.
my Wi-Fi on real quick. I think there's an connection issue.
Okie doke. Are you ready now, Mr. Barton?
Yes, it's working.
All right, we're not really getting very good audio on Mr. Barton, but he is there. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Blake Anthony William Barton. File number 23-21272FH, and Matthew Murphy appearing on behalf of Mr. Barton. And oh, you're on behalf of the people?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So this is the date and time set for a pretrial. Mr. Murphy, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, we're to ask for a trial to be set if the case is continuing along.
Your Honor, I would actually ask that these proceedings be stayed. There was an order drafted by the court, I think it was last week, denying our motion for reconsideration. After speaking with Ms. Bruggeman in this, I think we're going to ask to file an interlocutory appeal. So instead of setting a trial date, I just asked that the proceedings be stayed while that's pending.
All right. Did you hear that, Mr. Murphy?
Yes, Your Honor, if that's the case, well, either way, that's fine. If that's what the prosecution is motioning for, but we would ask if we could address bond conditions after the court decides what to do.
Okay. Well, interlocutory appeals don't usually take that long. So I would probably give you another pre-trial about 5 or 6 weeks out to see what happens. And is that all right?
Yes, Your Honor. I think we are awaiting some transcripts for the proceedings, so I'm not sure if that will delay things, but I think that we set it out.
Well, we can just put a holder on it. So, all right. So I'm going to set it out for pre-trial on April 3rd. And Mr. Banetto, you can do the stiffen order to adjourn?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Murphy, can you sign your name with permission?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I will set this out to April 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. Mr. Coast, are you here on Mr. Barton? Maybe not. Okay, so Mr. Murphy, you can address bond conditions.
Your Honor, we're asking the court to consider removing the requirement for Mr. Barton to, right now he has I believe a home unit that he's using. If I'm not mistaken, is that correct, Mr. Barton? That's what you're doing, or is it a scram unit now? Oh, you have the actual scram tether.
Mr.
The
Murphy,
cost of this becoming.
Mr. Murphy, stop. Mr. Barton, we cannot hear you. So kind of get closer to your phone and repeat what your answer was.
Let me just I have
Yeah, we have no audio. And Mr. Murphy, it's because we
that
have
better?
to make it. That's better. So could you answer Mr. Murphy's question again?
Mr. Barton, do you have the home blow unit or do you have the scram unit right now, the tether?
At first I had the breathalyzer, but I wasn't charging it between tests. I was charging it like right at the test and it kept dying. So they switched me over to the tether like 6 months ago, something like that. And it's
So, Your Honor,
$100 a week. And I have both of I have a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old full-time. My 2-year-old just got placed with me full-time through CPS. So funds are a little tight right now. I've been on it since January 13th of last year, I think it was.
And
Mr. Coast, do you
Mr.
monitor
Barton.
hold on. Do you monitor Mr. Barton, Mr. Coast?
I do, Judge. He has been on breathalyzers or a scram unit for the past year. I did have one incident back in November, a tamper alert back November the 24th, and then also a second tamper alert on November 26th. But ever since then, I've received 0 violations. So since that violations, he's done well. This is one though too where we kept going back and forth between the remote breath and also the scram unit, as he does not do well with charging his device. But he seems to be doing pretty well with the actual scram unit in itself, though.
Do you have any recommendation?
My suggestion is at least keep him on that scram at least for a little bit longer. Maybe review it April 3rd, especially since we had that tamper alert back in November.
Is there any way I can get like a reducel on the price, at least if we're gonna do that? It's been a year now that I've been paying almost $100 a week on it, and now everything's a lot tighter than normal. It's Christmas time. My 2-year-old got placed with me, so I got a 2-year-old and 3-year-old full time on my own. Funds are a little tight. I'm fine with staying on it. I was just curious, can I get the payment at least decreased a little bit to help me out some?
So Mr. Coast, we don't have any.
Judge, I could work with some smart, with them JSG, maybe give them a little break for the next few weeks. But I could talk.
And
to
if you talk to
Don.
So hold on, Mr. Barton.
Didn't mean to interrupt you.
Okay, so hold on, everybody. Hold on. I can't give you a reduction, so that's not something I can do. Mr. Coast said he will talk to them, see what he could do. So stay in contact with Mr. Coast. And then we'll see you back on April 3rd at 8:30 for a pre-trial, okay?
Okay. I was just gonna say the tamper was
give me a call here. I'll work with you on this.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Coast.
Donna, could I have a breakout with Mr. Barton since he's not in jail?
Oh, yeah, you
I don't have any other cases, so.
Okay, that's fine. All right, Mr. Barton, I'm going to put you in a breakout room
Thank you.
with Mr. because he doesn't have any more cases with me. Okay, so there's Mr. Murphy, and let me find. Where'd you go? Gotta find you. Okay, there you are. All right, go ahead and talk to Mr. Murphy, and then you can just disconnect. Okay, so Sam's in a breakout room. I got Tiffany Schucker, right? You're Tiffany Schucker, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Malaro is your client, or you're his client. And then I got Rhonda, and I got Michael Dagger Margosian. So.
How can I help you?
Hey, this is Judge Ann Sloan.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I have attorney Michael Dagger Margosian, and he has D'Angelo Williams, Danielle Rosenberg, Brandon Farnell, and Xavier Williams. So, and then I also can take James Renner first.
You want Renner first?
Yeah, because I have Miss Underwood on that one. Is that, what time was that one, Miss Underwood? 8:30? Hold on, let me double check. Yeah, so I can start with Renner and then Williams. Actually, I'll start with Renner and then I'll take everybody else.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thanks, bye. Okay. I've got a bunch of jail windows open, so maybe we'll get them moving quickly. come back with a trial tomorrow. Yes.
Ms. Berta?
Yes, Ron?
Yes. Spalding has already been adjourned.
Oh, okay. Well, then I won't wait here. I'll go back to the other courtroom and wait
Do
for
you
you
know
there.
if Mr. Bowker is there in the other courtroom?
I don't know if he's there. I know he was ordered to be there, but I don't know if he's present.
I tell you what, when you go back there, text me if he's there and I'll come right over and we can do
Okay.
that quick.
Did you waive Moreno already?
Yeah,
other
Moreno was
courtroom?
waived.
Okay, great. Thanks.
And we
Yeah, I
have
talked
Robert
to
Love at
Sarah
11
yesterday.
o'clock.
Okay.
And Brenda, we also have Robert Love at 11 o'clock for sentencing with the AG as well, right?
We do. I don't know if Ms. Berta's going to be around for that. I don't know who that is.
All right, who, Mr. Renner?
Yes.
Okay, all right, let me, grab your file. Mr. Renner, just to let you know, you do have, a family member in the courtroom here today. Okay, so, and your attorney is Rhonda Underwood. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus James Vernon Renner, files number 21-20539FH and 22-21119FH. Both are violation of probation files. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Renner. So, Ms. Underwood, how would you like to proceed with Mr. Renner today?
Can I have a breakout with Mr. Renner, Your Honor?
Yep, I'm only given like a couple minutes because we got a lot of people in jail today, so.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. The thing from the jail got disconnected last night before Mr.
It's
Renner.
okay. I'm just saying that I have a lot of people in jail today, so. All right, so there you go, Mr. Renner. Go ahead and connect with Ms. Underwood.
Judge, I had to hop over to Judge Olsavers for a minute. We didn't do Emily Smith yet, right?
No, Mr. Millar's in a breakout room with her right now.
Okay. He had called me on the phone, so I thought he was wrapping up, but so I just
Yeah, he probably is. I have a plea agreement form I just received.
Yep.
Can Mr. Sneed take the plea or anything if you're gone?
I already hopped over, so I'm already back. I just want to make sure it didn't happen while I was gone.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So
No.
I'll be here. But he could take the plea too. Doesn't matter.
All right, he's back already. There you go, Ms. McClure. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Millar, all right. So Emily, can you say your full name so I can just check the audio?
Emily Ann Marie Smith.
Is that good? Okay, and I'm gonna need you to kind of speak loudly, and I'm sorry about that. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Emily Ann Marie Smith. Mr. Milaro, you were in a breakout room with Ms. Smith, and I received from my staff a plea agreement form from, I'm gonna guess, Ms. McClure or your office. So, Mr. Milaro, how do you want to proceed today on behalf
Your
of Ms.
Honor.
Smith?
Yeah, Your Honor, I had received a message from Ms. Smith that she wanted to accept the plea agreement, but now that I've spoken with her, she does not want to accept the plea agreement. We have trial set for March 13th. And so we're just going to confirm that date.
Okay. All right. Well, we will continue this to the trial date. We'll see you then. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're all set, Ms. Smith. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're back with Mr. Renner. Miss Underwood, how would you like to proceed with Mr. Renner?
Yeah, Your Honor, I believe that Mr. Renner assures me there are no new charges coming. I have not heard of any. So at this point, Your Honor, Mr. Renner wishes to accept responsibility for the probation violation and plead guilty today.
All right, Mr. Malaro, you represent Ms. Schumacher, is that correct?
Yes.
While I am taking this VOP plea, do you want a breakout room with Ms. Schumacher?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay, so we need to get these rooms. All right, so Ms. Schumacher, I'm going to put you and Mr. Malaro into a breakout room while I'm taking care of this other matter. All right, go ahead and join that breakout room. All right, Mr. Renner, you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Renner, we're here on two things on each file. One is a violation of probation. Let me see here. We got a couple things here. Hold on. So I think this is that was a guilty plea. All right, so we have a violation of probation from November 21 of 23 on both of these files, which alleges that you were ordered to report to probation as often as required, and that you failed to report for your report day on November 7 and November 14 or any time thereafter. Do you understand that's the alleged violation against you?
Yes.
Now, you're currently on probation on file number 21-20539 with, hold on, they never put down. Looks like for retail fraud, first degree, second offense. So if you plead guilty or are found guilty on that one, you understand the maximum penalty could be up to 5 years in prison.
Yes.
Okay. And on that file, there's also a contempt of court for failure to appear for a summons for a probation violation hearing on January 31 of 2024. And that also carries a maximum penalty of 93 days in jail. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, so then we also had the contempt of court for failing to appear for a probation violation hearing on January 31 on the other file as well. But then on the summons on that file is failure to report on November 7 or 14 of 23 or any time thereafter. And on that file, you are on probation for attempted possession of methamphetamine. So the maximum penalty if you plead guilty or found guilty could be up to 5 years in prison on that file as well. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, you were given the right to have a court-appointed attorney, and you did ask for court-appointed attorney, and we had appointed Ms. Underwood to represent you. Are you satisfied with Ms. Underwood as your attorney and the advice that she's given you?
Yes.
All right. So, do you understand that you have a right to contest the violation of probation charges and to have a trial on it?
Yes.
Do you understand that throughout the trial, you will be presumed innocent until your guilt is proven by a preponderance of the evidence? Do you understand that?
Yes.
You have a right to have all the witnesses against you appear at your trial. I'm sorry, to have your lawyer ask those witnesses questions, or you may ask them yourself, and to have me order any witnesses you might have to appear at that trial. Do you understand all of that?
Yes.
You do not have to testify at your trial, and no one can say anything about you not testifying or hold it against you in any way. Do you understand all of that?
Yes.
On the other hand, do you understand that you have a right to testify at trial if you want to testify?
Yes.
All right. How do you plead to the charge that you violated the terms of your probation on both of these files by failing to report to the probation department on November 7 of 2023 and November 14 of 2023 or any time thereafter? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
All right, and how do you plead to the contempt of court that you failed to appear for a probation violation hearing on or about January 31st of 2024?
Guilty.
Okay. Do you understand by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up your right to a trial and as I've already explained to you?
Yep.
Has anything been promised to you to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Has anyone threatened you in any way to get you to plead guilty?
No.
If I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during the hearing. Hey, guy in the jail, you gotta be quiet. Okay, let me repeat that. If I accept this plea, you'll be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during the hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea. Do you understand that?
Yes,
Is it your own choice to plead guilty?
it is.
All right, so Mr. Renner, on both of these files, you were placed on probation, is that correct?
Yes.
And one of the terms of your probation is you were ordered to report as directed by the probation department. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and were you supposed to report on November 7th to the probation department?
I was.
And were you supposed to report on November, I think it was 14 to the probation department?
Yes.
And did you report?
I did not.
Okay, and were you incarcerated?
I was not.
All right. Now, we also mailed to the address we were given summons and complaint to appear for a probation violation, and that was scheduled for January 31 of 2024. Did you appear on that day?
I did not.
Okay. All right. I accept the pleas. They've been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights. He does have competent counsel. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for an updated pre-sentence or probation violation report. And I'm going to set sentencing for February 23rd at 8 a.m. So, Mr. Renner, someone from the probation department will come over and meet with you. Be truthful about what happened, and they'll prepare a report. We will provide that to Ms. Underwood. She'll review that with you. And then we'll see you back for sentencing on February 23rd at, yep, she said at 8 a.m., February 23rd at 8 a.m. Mr. Renner, do you want to appear via Zoom or do you want to appear in person? It's up to you.
Zoom's fine.
Okay, so we'll mark that via Zoom. All right, Ms. Underwood, anything else?
Nothing else. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Renner, thank you. You're all set.
Thank you.
Are you his dad? Yes. Your dad was here, Mr. Renner.
Thank you.
Okay, so many attorneys. Let's see what I've got in the jail. All right, so I have Miss Rosenberg. She was here first. So Mr. Dagger-Margosi, you want to take her first?
Your Honor, if it's okay, I'll speak with Mr. Xavier Williams.
Okay, let me get Mr. Williams' file. Okay, no, wrong Williams. Right, okay, I'll find him on my docket. Hold on 1 second. This file. Rosenberg. All right, no, wrong Williams. We have 2 Williams. All right, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Xavier Williams. We have 3 files, 2024-21721FH, 2024-21722FH, and 2024-21723FH. I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people, and I have Michael Dagger-Margosian appearing on behalf of Mr. Williams. This is the date and time set for arraignment on all 3 of these files. Mr. Dagger-Margosian, do you waive the reading of the felony information?
Your Honor, I will just say I'd like to speak with him at some point, but yes, as far as the arraignment, we waive the formal reading, stand muted this time.
Okay, and, okay, I will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf of your client. And, to schedule a pretrial, do I need to set dates out? I don't know if you're ordering transcripts. I don't know what you're doing. So do you want a date sooner or later?
If we could just schedule this for a pretrial, that'd be fine.
So March 20, okay?
Fine.
Okay, so I'll set a pretrial for March 20. My staff does these because it's arraignment. So we'll see you back on March 20 at 8:30 in the morning. Mr. Williams, just hang out for a minute because I have Ms. Rosenberg and I'm going to take care of her.
Judge, I'm sorry, can I have a breakout room with Mr. Williams?
Yeah, but I've got your other people, so I can give you a minute or two, but not long. So let me see here. Mr. Williams, let me find you here. You're gonna get an invitation to join a breakout room, Mr. Williams. So go ahead and join that breakout room. So Miss Teskey, who did you think WCC was?
I think WCC is Woodland Correctional Facility. If you have anybody, I mean, Woodland is,
Right, I'm looking at it. They're blocked. I have no way to send a chat message to them, so I'm gonna delete them. Becky, I don't know who we have. I know.
Jump back on, yeah.
I mean, yeah, because they're not responding, so I don't know. Okay, so, all right, well. So, Miss Dumont, we had a Zoom with Dennis Clark today, but they haven't showed up. So why don't I call the case and adjourn it?
Okay. He's in
Okay.
Jackson County right now, right?
Yep,
Okay.
yep, but for some reason, they haven't zoomed him in for arraignment. So this is in, I don't know, I mean, I don't know if a writ was done. I don't have those in my file. Do we know if the prosecutor writted them from Jackson County?
Judge, I'm not sure. Let me see if I can. Sorry, I had Schirmacher up. I don't have a note that we writted him. Honestly, I don't even know how we get notice when they're moved to another jail.
I don't know.
So
this,
I'll make a note that we need to, that he may be there for next time.
So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Dennis J. Clark, file number 24-21696FH. I have Allison Arnold appearing on behalf of the people, and I have Katerina Dumont appearing on behalf of Mr. Clark. My notes say he is in the Jackson County Jail. So I will adjourn this out 2 weeks so that the prosecutor's office can do a writ. So I will set this for
I won't be here the 28th. I don't know
Okay.
if we can do the 21st.
I can set it the 21st. I don't know if we'll get them, but I can definitely set it. It should be easier to get them from a jail than a prison.
Yeah, I think a week's notice is enough time to get him here.
So I'll set it over to February 21 at 8:15 for rearrangement. All right, thank you both.
Thank you.
All right, so Mr. Malaro, Let's see. Close all these breakout rooms. Okay, so I don't see Emily Smith. Oh, she's gone. All right, Mr. Dagger Margosian, let's move on to Ms. Rosenberg. Okay. Let me find our files. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Danielle Rosenberg, also known as T, file number 22-21003FH, which is set for a pretrial. And then I have file number 22-21005FH for a probation violation, 23-21343FH for a probation violation, 24-21694FH for pretrial, and 24-21708FH for pretrial. I have Allison Arnold appearing on behalf of, no, maybe not. Is this, whose file is this? Isaac, Phoebe. I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of, okay. Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people, and Michael Dagger Margosian appearing on behalf of Ms. Rosenberg. So Mr. Dagger Margosian, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, may I speak with Ms. Rosenberg?
Sure. All right, so I'm going to delete these breakout rooms. Ms. Rosenberg is in jail 8. Ms. Rosenberg, can you say your name so I can make sure we have good audio?
Danielle Rosenberg.
Okay, good. All right, so Ms. Rosenberg and Mr. Dagger Margosian, I just opened a breakout room. All right, from the correctional facility, I did close the room because I had no audio and video on you, so thank you for zooming back. What is your name, please?
Brandon Farnell.
No, not you. I'm talking about the MDOC prisoner.
Sorry.
Blue gel outfit. Hello, can you hear me? Yep, you. What's your name? No audio. No audio. I have no audio. They must be on a Polycom. I can't hear you because I can't chat. We can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Try now.
Oh, now I gotcha. What's your name?
Jonathan Gonzalez Rodriguez.
All right. So, Mr. Gonzalez Rodriguez, bear with me for just a moment. Okay. So, all right, your attorney is Rhonda Underwood. So I'm going to change your screen name. All right, and Miss Underwood just went next door and she'll be back, okay? We had a black screen, so we couldn't hear or see who you were. And that's why I disconnected you, because we just couldn't see or hear you. All right. All right, so, all right, so you're just gonna hang out for a few minutes, okay? All right, Mr. Malaro, you have from the jail, took care of him, Smith.
I have Ms. Schumacher, Your Honor.
Yep,
We're ready
there
to
she
go.
is. Ms. Schumacher, can you hear me? Say it again.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, okay, your audio is a little wonky, so if you could scoot forward a little bit, please. That room doesn't have the best audio. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Tiffany Renee Schumacher, file number 2023-21338FH. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of Ms. Schumacher. This is the date and time set for a pretrial in this matter. Yep, pretrial. So, Mr. Malaro, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor,
Oh, I'm sorry, Allison Arnold, are you on this file as well?
I am, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, so I have Salvatore Malao and Allison Arnold on this file. All right, Mr. Malao, go ahead.
All right, Your Honor, at this time, Ms. Schermacher is going to enter a plea. Plea will be as follows. She'll be pleading guilty to counts 1, 2, and 3 of the information. The habitual offender second offense notice is going to be dismissed. There was a Cobb's agreement to 42 months on counts 1 and 2, and with the lesser term on count 3, all charges to run concurrent as a matter of law. That is our plea agreement, and we are proceed to go forward on that today.
All right, 2 months. Concurrent, is that a correct recitation of plea, Ms. Arnold?
It is, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. Schumacher, you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, so your audio, like I said, is not the best, and it seems like the microphone picks up like 2 seconds after you start talking. So can you repeat that loudly for me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you so much. All right, you can put your hand down. So, Ms. Schumacher, you heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney. Is it your intention to plead guilty to count 1, controlled substance, delivery, manufacture of methamphetamine, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 20 years in prison and or a $25,000 fine? Count 2, controlled substance, delivery, manufacture of methamphetamine, which also carries a maximum penalty of up to 20 years in prison and or a $25,000 fine. And count 3, controlled substance possession of cocaine less than 25 grams, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 4 years in prison and or a $25,000 fine, with a Killebrew agreement that you would serve, the minimum sentence would be 42 months. And then it would run concurrent, okay? Is that your intention to plead guilty to those counts?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, are you satisfied with Mr. Malaro as your attorney and the advice that he's given you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, other than the Killebrew agreement to the term of months and concurrent, no one else has discussed a possible sentence with the court. Is that correct, Mr. Malaro?
That's correct, Judge, but it's actually a Cobb's agreement.
Oh, Cobb's agreement, I misspoke, a Cobb's agreement. Is that correct, Ms. Allison Arnold?
It is, Your Honor. The counts would run concurrent as a matter of law, so that's not really part of the agreement, but yeah.
Okay, all right. And is that true as far as you're aware, Ms. Schumacher?
Yeah.
All right. So, Ms. Schumacher, if a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial, not to have your silence used against you. And however, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Ms. Schumacher, do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction, I'm sorry. Ugh. Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right?
Yeah.
Okay, and if you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you? Say it again for me, please. I'm so sorry. It's not your fault. Can you say it again?
No.
Okay, good. It is not your fault. It's the room. I'm so sorry. So, Ms. Schumacher, how do you wish to plead to count 1, that on or about March 6th of 2023 through March 13 of 2023. I don't have a city, township, or village on this one.
Judge, there are two different venues within Lenawee County, but it's all within Lenawee County and state of Michigan. And I believe Ms. Schirmacher will verify that.
Okay, so Ms. Schirmacher, how do you plead to the charge that on or about the time period of March 6th of 2023 through March 13 of 2023 in Lenawee County that you did commit the offense of controlled substance delivery and manufacture of methamphetamine in count 1?
Guilty.
And to the charge of controlled substance delivery and manufacture of methamphetamine in count 2?
Guilty.
And to count 3, controlled substance possession of cocaine less than 25 grams.
Guilty.
Okay, and ma'am, would you agree those occurred in different venues or different cities, townships in Lenawee County?
Correct.
Okay, all right, do you, okay, has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to this charge?
No.
These charges? Do you understand if I accept these pleas, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that? Yes. Can you say it again? I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Mr. Malaro? Mr. Malaro?
Not directly, Judge, but she had some pending matters in Jackson that I think are tangential to this that did have some influence in this plea agreement.
All right, Ms. Arnold.
Judge, I'll put on the record, we have not made any other promises, threats, or inducements. I believe Jackson may have told her that they will run their sentence, which could run consecutive to this, concurrent to this, if she pleads in Jackson County. But it doesn't, it's not a promise that we made here.
Okay. Okay, so you've heard that statement, Ms. Schirmacher. Would you agree with that?
My ex-husband spoke to Jackson. I have not myself.
So we're not, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Ms. Schirmacher. I'm always mortified that this happens. And I know it's so hard on you guys. So scoot forward.
Okay. We're just gonna say yes.
No, scoot forward and just say it again loud.
We spoke to Jackson, but I haven't spoke to my attorney personally, so I can't say yes or no. But for the record, there's been nothing promised, but I'm just trying to move ahead and get this taken care of.
Okay, good. All right. And your attorney hasn't promised you any terms of probation or parole or anything like that, right?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And you understand the agreements that you'll be sentenced to 42 months on the 2 deliveries, but the tail on that is 20 years. You understand the tail, right? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yep. Is it your own choice to plead guilty to these 3 counts?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, Ms. Schirmacher, let's talk about this. So during the time period of March 6 of 2023 through March 13 of 2023, were you in Lenawee County?
Yes.
Okay. And on 2 different occasions, did you have methamphetamine? Did you possess methamphetamine with the intent to deliver it, to sell it to somebody?
The first occasion, yes.
Say it again.
On the first occasion, I did.
Okay, so you had methamphetamine and you intended you had enough to sell and you intended to sell it at least, well, 2 times during that time period?
On the first occasion, yes, ma'am.
Judge, if I can jump in, count 1 is charged as possession with intent to deliver methamphetamine. So the first time she had it and she intended to deliver it, and then approximately a week later, she actually did deliver it. So that's the reason for the count 2 is charged as delivery of methamphetamine and count 1 is charged as possession with intent to deliver.
Was it the
Yeah,
same
I guess I don't know
methamphetamine?
I don't know if it was this, I don't believe it was the same.
So what Ms. Arnold said, Ms. Schumacher, is count 1 is possession with intent. So you had methamphetamine and you possessed it because you intended to give it away or sell it, okay? The second count is that you actually did give it away or sell it. You delivered it, okay?
So I guess that's where I was confused because I don't know which charge was which.
Yeah.
So the second time was a sale and the first time was not a sale.
Because you hadn't sold it yet, right?
No, the first time was not a sale.
Did you give it away?
No, that was not what that was intended for, no.
So were there, yeah,
If I
go
can
ahead.
ask, it might be best if I ask a question, if the court and Mr. Malaro don't mind. So Ms. Schumacher, the first time you had a quantity of methamphetamine and you had it with the intent to deliver it to either sell it or give it away, is that correct?
I'm sorry, you broke up.
Okay, so the first time you had a quantity of methamphetamine that you intended to either sell or give away, is that correct?
The first time was not, that was not what it was appeared to be. That first time I was only in that U-Haul for literally 15 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, ma'am, all right, you're charged with 1 count of possession with intent to deliver, which means
Correct.
you had enough, you could have sold it, like it was in an amount, you could have sold it, maybe you planned to sell it. It doesn't require that you actually did sell it, just that you had enough and your intention was to give it to somebody, share it with somebody, or sell it, okay? The second
Correct.
count you're charged with on a different time is that you did deliver it, whether that's giving it away or selling it. So if you're going to plead guilty, you have to acknowledge those 2 separate events.
Yes, the second, yes, correct.
Okay, so at one time you had methamphetamine and your intention was to either give it away, share it, or sell it. And then there was another incident where you actually did give it away, sell it, or share it, right?
Right. So the first time was not, the first time would have been for personal use. The second time was a sale, correct.
All right, and by intrapersonal use, you mean it was to share with somebody?
Yes, that was for my own personal use.
Okay. Would you agree that occurred between March 6 and March 13 of 2023?
I believe that was on March 6th, the night that I was arrested and brought to jail.
Okay. Ms. Arnold, are you satisfied on those 2 counts?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Now, the third count is between the time period of March 6 of 23 through March 13 of 2023 in Lenawee County, that you had cocaine less than 25 grams. So did you have in your possession cocaine less than 25 grams?
Yes, that was also on March 6th as well.
Okay. All right. Are you satisfied, Ms. Arnold?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Mr. Malaro?
Yes, I believe the court has.
All right. Ms. Arnold?
Yes, Your Honor.
I accept the pleas. They've been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of her rights. She does have competent counsel. This court has made a Cobb's agreement regarding the sentence in this case and will honor that Cobb's agreement. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation, and I'm going to set sentencing for April 26th at 8:15 in the morning. So, Ms. Schumacher, you have the right to be present in person, or you can appear via Zoom. What would you prefer?
Zoom is fine.
Okay, and I'll make sure we get a better room for you, okay? So someone from the probation department will come over and meet with you. When you meet with them, be truthful with them about your background and the events that occurred. They'll prepare a pre-sentence report. We will provide a copy of that to Mr. Malaro. Mr. Malaro will review that with you before the day of sentencing, and we will see you back on April 26th at 8:15, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Miss Adams, I have a pile if you want to come get it. All right, let's see. Ms. Rosenberg, I think I have Rhonda Underwood. Miss Underwood, you represent Jonathan Gonzalez. He's been with us since 8. The window wasn't working for like the first hour, so I terminated it, but he's back. Do you need a breakout room with them?
I do, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, so hold on. Thank you, Becky. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jonathan Gonzalez Rodriguez, file number 23-21565FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Gonzalez Rodriguez and Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. So, Mr. Gonzalez Rodriguez, I am going to open up a breakout room. And sometimes just because of the volume of facilities, we have a hard time getting in with people. So Ms. Underwood would like to talk to you. So let me open up that breakout room, and you'll either go automatically or you're going to have to click join. So you might want to get their help. So I've sent a request for a breakout room for him. Do you see it there somewhere where you click join the breakout room? Thank you.
Nothing's coming
I
up.
can bring them back in automatically, so that's okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so let's bop back to, oh, I got it. Wait, let me open the room. Maybe it didn't go. Okay, now it should. All right, so in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Danielle Rosenberg, Mr. Dagger Margosian, how would you like to proceed today?
Thank you.
Oh, all right, hold on. I'm gonna go back. So I'm gonna send another request. Hold on, let me do it again. Hold on, Mr. Gonzalez Rodriguez, let me do it one more time. He may go automatically, I don't know, but give me 2 seconds. All right, I'm gonna open the room again. Oh, he went automatically, good. All right, so Mr. Dagger Margosian, sorry about the back and forth. How would you like to proceed on behalf of Ms. Rosenberg today?
Your Honor, Ms. Rosenberg has been screened for drug court. She has been approved for it. There is a condition, an additional condition, I guess, that Ms. Teskey has sent to us, that Ms. Rosenberg would, if she decides to go with drug court, that she would complete the Odyssey House long-term inpatient program. I've gone over this with Ms. Rosenberg. She is in agreement with all of this. And so at this time, what I'd like to do with the 2 cases that are set for pretrial, we're prepared to enter pleas on those. And then on the 3 cases for VOP, we can enter pleas on those as well. I'd imagine that the sentence would be in line with drug court. So we're ready to proceed on all 5 cases.
All right, Miss Underwood, are you done in that breakout room? You're muted. You're muted. I can't hear you.
It kicked me out after 9 seconds, Your Honor.
All right, go down below and join the breakout room again. It's open. He's in there.
Let me find it. We'll try. Okay, here we go.
There we go. All right, so that's a lot. Okay, so Mr. Dagger goes in just so that I can keep this orderly. What is the plea offer on file number 22-21003? If you could just tell me which count she's pleading guilty to.
Well, on the 3 VOP cases, I think it's just entering pleas to the violation itself. So on 003.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? On my docket that said it was a pretrial, not a VOP. Okay. So what about file number 23-21343FH?
Again, that would be one of the violations of probation cases.
Pleading guilty. Okay. And then 24-21694.
694 is going to be plead to count 1 as charged meth possession.
Okay, and then count or on 24-21708.
That'd be plead to count 1, larceny building, dismiss count 2 using a state ID.
Excellent. Okay, so she's going to plead to all the VOPs and she's going to plead to those 2 counts. Okay, so,
Your Honor, just with the understanding that it would be sentenced under drug court.
yeah.
Yeah.
Any objection to that, Ms. McClure?
No, and I actually had the plea on the 708 that she would plead to the count 2, the misdemeanor, but does that mess up drug court for her? Is that why you want to plead to
Nope.
count 1?
As long as she pleads to a felony on 1 file,
That's
then
fine.
she's eligible.
I guess, Mike, it's up to you.
Yeah, we'll
but
do that
that's what
then.
I had as the plea.
Gotcha, understood. Thank you.
Is that 708?
Yes.
On 708, I have that it'd be a plea to count 2, the state ID stolen, and then dismissal or seen a building.
Okay. All right, hold on, let me get all my files organized. Okay. All right, so Ms. Rosenberg, bear with me because I can barely breathe today. For some reason, my allergies are killing me. So raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Ms. Rosenberg, I know we have the pods and the audio is much better in those, but we still have audio issues and it's not your fault. So if you can scoot forward and just speak loudly to me. So can you repeat your response, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. All right. Now, Ms. Rosenberg, you have heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorneys. So is it your intention to plead guilty to the 3 probation violation files? And both, then let's go through those. So on, let's see. Got 22-21003. All right. So on file number 22-21003, there is a, let me get back there. Okay, so we have 2 things on each of the violation of probation files. We have the violation of probation where a summons and complaint was issued. And then there's also a contempt of court for failure to appear for the probation violation hearing. So Ms. Rosenberg, obviously this is all going to run together, so it's not too big of a deal, but the contempt of courts carry a maximum penalty of up to 93 days in jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and the allegations on the violation of probation on file number 22-21003FH, as well as the other files, is that you violated the terms of your probation and that you failed to report on September 12 and September 19 of 2023 as instructed, and that you were ordered to notify the probation of any address changes within 24 hours, and that you failed to do so because you had not been living at your approved residence for about 2 weeks. So do you understand those are the allegations on all your violation of probation files?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now on the 21003 file, you're on probation from larceny from a building. Now, I understand that there's a drug court agreement, but do you understand potentially if you violate on those files, you always could be facing up to 5 years in prison? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and then the allegations are the same on file number 22-21005. There's a failure to appear for the summons and complaint, as well as Ms. Rosenberg, I really want you to excel in drug court going forward because you got a lot of files and I run out of breath, okay? I want you to do well. Do you understand me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we have the contempt of court for failure to appear, which carries a maximum penalty of 93 days in jail. And we also have the violation for both, which is the same, and that is on that file, the maximum penalty could potentially be up to 5 years in prison for the stolen property, receiving and concealing of a motor vehicle. So that's that violation file. And then we have 23-21343FH. And once again, we have the failure to appear for a probation violation hearing, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 93 days in jail. And then we have the violation of probation. Let's see what this is. That's weird. Hold on. Fingerprints, failure to appear, probably got entered out of order. Well, I don't know. I don't have a violation of probation in that file for some reason. So I'll just not worry about that. Okay, so is it your intention to plead guilty to those?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and Ms. Adams, I have a contempt of court for failure to appear for a probation violation hearing on that file, that last one, but I don't actually have a violation of probation in the file. All right, and so then, I'm sorry, it would have been file number 23-21343FH. Okay. I have the contempt of court, but not a violation of probation. So now, then on your two new files, Ms. Rosenberg, on file number 24-21694FH, is it your intention to plead guilty to count 1, controlled substance, possession of methamphetamine, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 10 years in prison and or a $15,000 fine? So is it your intention to plead guilty to that count?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and then on file number 24-21708FH, Ms. Rosenberg, is it your intention to plead guilty on that file to count 2, state identification card stolen, used without permission, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 1 year in jail?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, are you satisfied with this?
I'm sorry, I missed the last part. Count 2 is just, or I'm sorry, count 2 is the plead guilty. Count 1 is the dismissal on 708.
Didn't I say that?
You may have, the audio was.
I have on 24-21708FH, she's pleading to count 2, which is a misdemeanor.
Yep,
Correct,
and
I'm
that's
sorry,
what you
yeah.
said, Judge.
Okay.
I know. Ms. Rosenberg, I'm going to need you to sit all the way forward and I'm going to need you to speak loud, and I'm so sorry. So is it your intention to plead guilty to that count as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, that's better. All right. Are you satisfied with Mr. Dagger Margosian as your attorney and the advice that he's given you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And other than the agreement that she is accepted into drug court and will be added to the drug court program and attend that long-term inpatient program, neither the prosecutor, the defendant, or anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed any other possible sentence with the court. Is that correct, Ms. McClure?
That's correct.
Mr. Dagger Margosian?
Correct, Your Honor.
Is that correct as far as you're aware, Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial, not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Ms. Rosenberg, do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that, Ms. Rosenberg?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No, ma'am.
All right, so we're gonna start with the violation of probation files, okay? So on file number 22-21003 FH, 21005 FH, and 23-21343 FH. Ms. Rosenberg, how do you plead to the violation of probation that you failed to make a truthful report on September 12 and September 19 of 2023 as ordered?
Guilty.
Okay, and how do you plead to the contempt of court for failure to appear at the show cause?
Guilty.
Okay, and then Ms. Rosenberg, on file number, double check, 24-21694 FH. Ms. Rosenberg, how do you plead to the charge that on or about August 28 of 2023 in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense of controlled substance possession of methamphetamine?
Guilty.
And then on file number 24-21708 FH, how do you plead to the charge that on or about January 16th of 2024 in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense of state identification card stolen or used without permission? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
All right, so other than drug court and the treatment program that's been discussed, has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to all of these charges?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand if I accept these pleas, you will be giving up any and all claims that your pleas are given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises, threats, or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Miss, I don't know whose folder P number. I'll go with Mr. Dagger Margosian.
No, Your Honor.
Miss McClure?
No, Judge.
Okay, I usually call whoever has the oldest P number, and with you two, I'm never quite sure. All right, has your attorney, Ms. Rosenberg, promised you any particular sentence or estimated what your sentence will be other than drug court, inpatient treatment? Nothing about probation terms or length of probation, has he?
No, Your Honor.
Is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so let's start on the probation violations. So Ms. Rosenberg, you were placed on probation, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And was that with Ms. Teskey?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that was on 3 files, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and on those files, you were ordered to make a truthful report as often as required, correct?
Yes.
Were you supposed to report to Ms. Teskey on September 12th of 2023?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you supposed to report to see her on September 19th of 2023?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you report?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Were you incarcerated somewhere?
No.
Okay. And then you had given an address that the probation department verified. And when they went there, they were told that you hadn't lived there for a couple weeks. Had you moved to a different location?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you notify Ms. Teskey that you had moved from that location?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so I do accept the pleas on the probation violation files. All right, so Ms. Rosenberg, let's move on to your new files. So on file number 24-21694FH, Ms. Rosenberg, on August 28th of 2023, were you in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and did you have in your possession some methamphetamine?
Yes, ma'am.
And you knew it was methamphetamine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and did you have any legal right to possess that methamphetamine?
No, Your Honor.
You satisfied, Ms. McClure, on that file?
Satisfied.
So then, Ms. Rosenberg, on file number 24-21708FH, on January 16th of 24, we're in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and did you have in your possession a personal identification card from a Jennifer Allen?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, did you have permission to have that ID card?
No, ma'am.
You actually took it without her permission, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you satisfied with that, Ms. McClure?
Yes.
All right, except the, has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Ms. McClure?
It has.
Mr. Dagger Margosian?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I accept the pleas. They've been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. Ms. Rosenberg has full knowledge of her rights, and she does have competent counsel. There is an agreement in place, and the court will honor that. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation. I will set this matter for sentencing on April 26th at 8:15 in the morning. Ms. Rosenberg, do you want to be in person or via Zoom?
Zoom's fine.
Okay, we'll just make sure we get you in a better room, all right?
Okay.
So Ms. Teskey is going to come over and meet with you, and probably some of the drug court team. You're familiar with all of them. Ms. Rosenberg, we are going to put extra services in place because we do have that back knowledge of some of your needs. Be truthful with them about what's been going on, what you need, what happened. They'll prepare a pre-sentence report. I'll provide a copy of that to Mr. Dagger Margosian. He'll meet with you in advance. And then we'll see you back on April 26th at 8:15 via Zoom. All right?
Okay, thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Schumacher. All right, Mr. Dagger Margosian, hold on. Mr. Farnell. Find your attorney. Mr. Farnell is Michael Dagger Margosian. So I'm going to close that other room for the correctional facility, and let me take that one real quick, Mr. Dagger Margosian, because they've been with me for a while. So is it a plea, Miss Underwood, or setting another? Okay, let's skip over to Mr. Farnell. So that's a plea too, isn't it, Michael?
Correct.
No, this isn't going to be a plea. I'm sorry, Your Honor. No.
Okay. Mr. Gonzalez Rodriguez, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jonathan Gonzalez Rodriguez, file number 2023-21565FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Gonzalez Rodriguez, and I have Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for pre-trial in this matter. Ms. Underwood, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, I need to have some further discussions with Mr. Gonzalez Rodriguez. I would ask to adjourn this matter for about 6 weeks.
April 3rd at 8:30 in the morning.
That would be fine, Your Honor. And if that's agreeable, I would be happy to do the stip to adjourn in this matter with Ms. McClure's permission.
No objection.
All right, and Mr. Gonzalez Rodriguez, where are you again?
The what?
What prison are you at?
WCC.
All right, okay, and the people will have to do the writ for that. So very good. All right, you're all set, Mr. Gonzalez Rodriguez. We'll see you back on April 3rd, okay?
All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Okay. All right, Miss Ruiz is here. Is that yours, Miss Underwood?
It is, Your Honor.
Are you taking a plea on her today or just pre-trial?
We are setting this matter for trial, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Brandon Charles Farnell. File number 24-21673H. I have Michael Dagger Margosian appearing on behalf of the people, and Phoebe McClure appearing, or no, Mr. Dagger Margosian appearing on behalf of the defendant, and Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. And Mr. Farnell is here from the Illinois County Jail. So I've received a plea agreement. Continue. My understanding is this is good. Okay, so the plea offer is that he will plead to count to larceny 200 to 1,000, which is a misdemeanor, which will allow him to continue in his programming, which is good. So is that the plea offer, Miss McClure and, oh, okay, and then there isn't a term, Mr. Farnell, that if you were to commit any further crimes while in that program, the prosecutor could reinstate the felony on this file as well. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Deger-Margosian, is that a correct recitation of the plea?
It is, there's an additional condition for restitution. The people state that it is approximately $3,000 for pallets in the truck that was taken. So that's part of the plea as well.
Is that correct, Mr. Farnell?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, any additions, Ms. McClure?
I don't believe so.
All right, Mr. Farnell, you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, so Mr. Farnell, you've heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney. Is it your intention to plead guilty to an added count to larceny, or no, I think it's already in there maybe, but count to larceny 200 to 1,000, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 1 year in jail. So is it your intention to plead guilty to that count?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand the terms of the plea agreement that was placed on the record?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, are you satisfied with Mr. Deger-Margosian and the advice that he has given you?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand the maximum penalty could be up to 1 year in jail?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now, neither, other than the enhanced treatment court and the restitution, neither the prosecutor, the defendant, or anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed any other possible sentence with the court. Is that correct, Ms. McClure?
That's correct.
Mr. Deger-Margosian?
Correct, Your Honor.
And Mr. Farnell, is that correct as far as you're aware?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial. And if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial and not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable had you been convicted at trial? Do you understand that, Mr. Farnell?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Farnell, how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about December 23rd of 2023 in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee, that you did commit the offense of larceny, $200 or more, but less than 1,000? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Okay. Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to this charge other than what was placed on the record?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Ms. McClure, Mr. Deger-Margosian?
None, Your Honor.
No. Yeah.
All right, has your attorney promised you any other particular sentence or estimates what your sentence will be?
No, ma'am.
Is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Farnell, on December 23rd of 2023, were you in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and at that time, did you steal a 2018 Hino flatbed truck?
Yes, ma'am.
And that belonged to a Ronald King, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And for purposes of the plea, would you agree that the value was between 200 and 1,000 for that item?
Yes, ma'am.
But you fully understand restitution is 3,000, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, are you satisfied, Ms. Clerk?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, has court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Mr. Dagger-Margosian?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. McClure?
Yes.
I accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights, and he does have competent counsel. This court has made no agreement regarding the plea or possible sentence in this case outside of the specialty court, and court of course has no objection to that. So I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence report. We will set sentencing for April 26th at 8:15 in the morning. Ms. Teskey, will you be doing this pre-sentence report?
Your Honor, they should be assigning that to me. Yes, that's not a guarantee, but
he pled to a misdemeanor. He pled to a misdemeanor, but I didn't know how the court worked with the specialty court. So would it be assigned to someone in their division downstairs?
if he pled to a misdemeanor, then he'll be sent down to Mike to do that.
Okay, so Mr. Farnell, I wasn't sure how they did the specialty court down there. So someone from district court, and I think it'll be Mr. Mike McCarron, will meet with you and do a pre-sentence report. And then we'll see you back for sentencing on April 26th at 8:15 in the morning, okay?
Your Honor.
Yes.
May I address bond?
So he's already in the specialty court, right?
Well, sort of. He was originally sentenced to ET. And then my understanding is that it was like discontinued, but now he's going back into ET. So I would ask this court to consider granting him a PR. This is the only.
So hold on, I'm going to stop you right there. So Mr. Dagger-Margosian, when there's a specialty court, I defer to them. If you meet with the specialty court or someone there and they want him out, I will let him out. But for sure.
Judge,
but Ms. McClure, if you'd like to weigh in on this.
Yeah, I can represent to the court that I've spoken with Cora, who runs that ET court, and he had just gotten established in that specialty court when this offense happened. She would like to see him released so he can start attending those meetings regularly and start cooperating and working in that program. So we have no objection to him being released today, and I think that's the wishes of Cora down in ET court as well. As long as he has to report to her when he's released.
Okay, so Ms. McClure, thank you for reaching out to the specialty court for that information. So I will release him on a PR bond then, Mr. Dagger-Margosian. Mr. Farnell, listen to me. Who does he got to report to, Ms. McClure?
Cora, and I think her last name's Gibson.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, it is Gibson.
Okay, so if you get out of jail before 4:30 today, head over to the courthouse and check in with her in district court, all right? If you get out after 4:30, if you get out after 4:30, behave yourself tonight. Don't get in trouble and report tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
And, all right. I spoke with Ms. Gibson as well. And they do have a meeting tomorrow, so the timing works out.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Farnell, do you want to appear for sentencing in person or via Zoom?
Assuming I'm free I will come in person.
Okay, all right, so sentencing will be April 26th at 8:15 in the morning, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Farnell. Happy
Thank you.
Valentine's Day. All right, so let me see here. Miss Ruiz, are you eating? Don't be eating. Turn your video off. It's okay. I have someone in jail room number 7. Sir, what's your name? Red shirt.
Angela Williams.
Okay. All right, Mr. Dagger Margosian, while you take care of Miss Underwood on this file, do you need a breakout room with Mr. Williams?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Williams, I'm gonna open up a breakout room for you to chat with Mr. Dagger Margosian. So go ahead and join that breakout room. Okay, so hold on. It's not an emergency, it ain't gonna be right now. Just sometime this morning when you have a okay. All right, so Miss Ruiz, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Angelita Ruiz. File number 23-21538FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Miss Ruiz, and I have Phoebe McClure appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pre-trial conference in this matter. Trying to find your Rhonda. There we are. So, Miss Underwood, I have Miss Ruiz is charged with MDOP, which is a 5-year felony, and there was an offer of an attempted with restitution and no upfront jail. Miss Adams, do I not have fingerprints on this file? I show no
I did
TCN.
get them done yesterday.
Yay, good job. Thank you. Okay. So, Miss Underwood, has the plea changed, or is that still the plea?
That is still the plea offer, Your Honor, and I've discussed it with Ms. Ruiz, and at this time, she wishes to set this matter for trial, Your Honor.
Is that a delayed or a deferred or anything like that?
So Judge, I had offered her a misdemeanor with the deferred down in district court, and then she rejected that offer and we had held the exam. So I withdrew that offer. So the current offer is the attempt with restitution and no jail.
Okay. All right. So, a 1-day trial?
Yes, I imagine it would just be a 1-day trial. I would ask that it be after March because my March is getting a little backlogged.
I'm wondering if we can go into May, Your Honor. It's getting a little crowded. Or even June.
My June's already crowded.
Yeah, I mean, this is an old case. So don't want to go too far, but.
It's not, it's only a year old. That's not old to me. All right, Becky, I'm showing May 14 is wide open. So, May 14. May 14.
Well, I'm supposed to be in a homicide trial in front of Judge Olsaver, but I could maybe give this case to another prosecutor if someone's free. So I mean, we could put it and just, I guess if I don't find anyone who's willing to cover it, maybe move it at the final pretrial.
Well, I will tell you that if we try to move it then, it'll be September because I'm already stacked. So
maybe a different week then. I'm supposed to, so the homicide trial is set to start May 14th and go for 2 weeks.
all right, and then I'm gone for a couple weeks, and then and I got to recover from being gone for a couple weeks. So would a Wednesday be okay? Like, would this fit a 1-day Wednesday trial, 10:30 to 4:30, or?
It might. We could try. I noticed you have a jury trial on June 4th for James Derby. Could we put this as a backup to that?
It's Rhonda. Miss Underwood, do you want me to back this up to Mr. Derby?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay. So let's do June 4. At 9 a.m. So we will.
Judge, how many days is that set for?
1 day.
Oh, okay.
It has to be 1 day because then I'll be gone out of the country. So, June 4 at 9 a.m. We'll set a final pretrial for May 22nd. And that will be at 8:30 in the morning. I will require jury instructions and voir dire questions to be provided to the court by May 8th. And motion deadline is May 22nd. If a resolution or you want a bench conference is sought, just contact Miss Adams and she will schedule you in.
And can you just ask Miss Underwood would you provide a witness list and a potential exhibit list prior to that motion deadline so I can file anything
Sure.
if necessary?
Sure.
Can we also have an itemized list of the bill too, because there was extra charges put in by Mrs. Hattershort?
I don't know what you just said, Miss Ruiz.
Can we have an itemized list of the bill of damages, because she put personal damages on there, over $500 on the bill that I was told.
What does that mean?
I don't know, Judge. I think that's something that's a factual dispute that's gonna have to be resolved at trial.
Miss McClure, first,
an
hold on,
itemized-
everybody, stop talking for a minute, stop. So Miss McClure, you're audio. I swear to God, I think it's up with the county, but you're like, you fade in and out, so could you speak up?
I just said.
Can we have an itemized bill?
Miss Ruiz, I wasn't talking to you. Miss McClure,
sorry.
speak up again.
Judge, I'm guessing she's talking about something that's a factual dispute that needs to be resolved at trial.
Okay, so Miss Ruiz, that's something you need to talk to your attorney about, all right?
Okay.
All right, so we will see you back here for pretrial on May 22nd at 8:30 in the morning, and everybody have a good day. Thank you.
Yep.
You.
All right, so Miss Underwood, hold on. Let's see here. In the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus David Michael Walker, file number 23-21530FH. This is the date and time scheduled for request and summons for probation violation. Mr. Walker has failed to appear. Mr. Walker is currently on probation for possession of methamphetamine and carrying a concealed weapon. I'm going to issue a bench warrant for his arrest. And I will set bond in the amount of 50,000 cash. All right, so that's care of Mr. Walker. I have Miss Underwood and the matter of, or Dylan Lagore is in jail, right?
Yes, he is, Your Honor.
Insurance, can I help you?
Hi, this is Judge Ann Sloan. I was wondering if we could get Dylan Lagore.
Yes, you can.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Okay, so, all right, so Mr. Dagger Markosian and Mr. Williams. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus D'Angelo Monte Williams. We have 3 files. 23-21308 FH, 23-21310 FH, and 24-21677 FH. I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people, and I have Michael Dagger Margosian appearing on behalf of Mr. Williams. This is date and time set for pretrial. So, Mr. Dagger Margosian, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, the people have extended a plea deal, and at this time, Mr. Williams will be pleading guilty to the outlined agreement.
I don't have an agreement. So let's start with file number 23-21308 FH. Mr. Dagger Margosian, Mr. Dagger Margosian. Hi, Mr. Legore. Ms. Underwood.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Legore, I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with Rhonda Underwood, okay?
I fired her last night. I'm gonna call a guard to fire her.
No, you don't.
I represent with my Aunt Jenny in court today. She was January 2nd.
I'm gonna put you in the waiting room. Okay, so Mr. Dagger Margosian on file number 23-21308 FH, is he going to be pleading on that file?
On 308, the plea agreement is that case would be outright dismissed.
Okay, so hold on, slow down. Well, hold on, let me just do it slowly, because there's multiple files, so I don't want to screw it up. Okay, so let's go next to file number 23-21310 FH. Is there a plea on that file?
Yes, Mr. Williams will be pleading guilty to count 1, assaulting a prison employee, and count 2 would be dismissed.
Okay, I'm sorry, because I have to find it in the file, I have to write it on my docket, so I always kind of go one by one. All right, what about file number 24-21677 FH?
677, the count 1 would be dismissed, and he'd be pleading guilty to an added count of attempted resisting and obstructing.
Added count of attempted RNO, okay. And okay, and that's a 1 year 1 year misdemeanor, headquarters misdemeanor, okay. All right, so that takes care of all 3 files. All right, so is that a correct recitation of the plea, Mr. Sneed? You're muted.
Yes, it is, Judge.
Okay, all right, so Mr. Williams, you want to raise your right hand for me? All right. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Your Honor.
Okay, so you can put your hand down, and Mr. Williams, if you can sit forward a little bit and just speak louder for me, okay? Can you state your full name for the record?
Yeah, Monte Williams.
All right, very good. Mr. Williams, you have heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney. Is it your intention on file number 23-21310 FH to plead guilty to count 1, assault of a prison employee, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 5 years in prison and or a $2,500 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and then on file number 24-21677 FH, is it your intention to plead guilty to an added count 2, attempted resisting and obstructing a police officer, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 1 year in jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you satisfied with Mr. Dagger Margosian as your attorney and the advice that he has given you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and neither the prosecutor, the defendant, nor anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed a possible sentence with the court. Is that correct, Mr. Sneed?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
And Mr. Dagger Margosian?
Correct, Your Honor.
And Mr. Williams?
Correct.
Okay, so Mr. Williams, if a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial and not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Williams, we're going to start on file number 23-21310FH. How do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about February 19 of 2023 in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense of assault of a prison employee? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
And then on file number 24-21677FH, how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about July 28th of 2023 in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense of attempted resisting and obstructing a police officer? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to these charges?
No, Your Honor.
You understand if I accept these pleas, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Mr. Sneed.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Dagger Margosian.
No, Your Honor.
Has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimated what your sentence will be, Mr. Williams?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, is it your own choice to plead guilty to these counts?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we're going to start on file number 23-21310FH. So Mr. Williams, on February 19th of 2023, were you in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee at the Lenawee County Jail?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and was there a correction officer, Swander, or at least that's the name that's provided to me, who was employed there at the time that you came in contact with?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you're pleading to an assault. So did you push him, pull him, kick him, spit on him, punch him? What did you do?
I spit on him.
You spit on him? Okay.
Yeah.
Would you agree that a reasonable person would find that spitting on someone's body fluids would be an assault?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Are you satisfied with that? And you were in custody at the sheriff's department at the jail, right?
Yes.
Okay, are you satisfied with that, please, Mr. Sneed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Williams, let's go to July 28th of 2023 on file number 24-21677FH. So Mr. Williams, on that day, were you also in jail at the Lenawee County Jail in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and on that day you came in contact with a female correction officer named, it might be Kyra Ferguson, does that sound correct?
Yes.
Okay, and would you agree she worked at the jail?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you were lawfully, well, you were held at the Lenawee County Jail as a prisoner at that time, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you pled to attempted resisting and obstructing. So did you not follow instructions? Did you push her, pull her? Tell me what you did to her.
Not following instructions.
Okay, all right. And you knew she was a correction officer and that you're supposed to follow her instructions, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sneed, are you satisfied in that count?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Mr. Sneed?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Dagger Margosian?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, I accept the pleas. They've been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights and he does have competent counsel. Mr. Sneed, if it's not already been done, could I get an amended information today?
Yes, you will, Judge. Thank you.
And I always ask for the day of because they can't enter the data until we get that entered. So,
Yeah, understood. Thank
all
you.
right. This court has made no agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence in this case with the prosecutor, the defense attorney, the defendant, or anyone acting in the interest of either of them. We do have a current pre-sentence report already prepared for him, do we not?
We do.
All right, and I believe it was set for sentencing, and didn't we adjourn it?
Correct.
And
Sentencing.
who prepared that one? Do you remember who was it?
Jen Walsh.
Jen Walsh. So, Mr. Moore, we just had a pre-sentence investigation done weeks ago.
Okay.
And do I need to go out to April 26th, or do you think I could do sooner since that's already been done and it probably would just, like, none of the information would change except for the new charges?
Except you said the charges?
Well, he pled on some other files. He was charged, he had 4 files. So he went to trial and then he pled on 2 and one's being dismissed. So she just did a PSI.
Yeah.
Do I
it's
have
all
to go
gotta-
all the way out to the end of April, or can I make it in
Well,
March?
the only thing is I say is you know, it's kind of like when you're setting trials and things, and we have things in motion here. So, yes, it'll be easier. However, it'll have to be completely redone, and with the new system, it's not as easy as the old. And so,
Okay, okay, that's it.
yeah.
So, Mr. Williams and Mr. Dagger Margosian, do I have your permission to set all the sentencings for that day?
For April 26th.
Yeah. So MDOC systems are gonna be shut down for 2 weeks, and so that put us already 2 weeks behind because they won't be able to do data entry at all. So I was just gonna set all his files over for that day.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if the court updates and takes into account credit issues and all that sort of thing, that's really my only concern.
I will, Mr. Dagger Margosian. All right, so Mr. Williams, I'm going to set these 2 files plus your other one for sentencing on April 26th at 8:15 in the morning. So, Mr. Williams, if by chance they're able to finish it sooner or something of that nature, we'll move it up, okay?
Good.
All right, and Mr. Williams, do you want to appear in person for sentencing or via Zoom?
In person.
Okay, so I'll mark that down. Okay, so someone from MDOC or from the probation department is going to meet with you. Be truthful with them about your background. Be truthful with them like you did before and the events that occurred on this case, and then we'll see you back on April 26th at 8:15, okay?
And that's for every, so I won't be going to court on the 23rd.
So hold on, Mr. Williams, can you scoot up and speak louder because I couldn't hear you?
So I won't be going to court this month on the 23rd for sentencing?
No, we'll move them all together, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Mr. Williams. You're all set. Okay, so Mr. Dagger Margosian.
I think that's it for me, Judge.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, Ms. Underwood, are you ready? Here we go. All right, Mr. Legore, we are back. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Dylan James Legore. File number 24-21671FH. I have Rhonda Underwood, put your hand down, appearing on behalf of Mr. Legore. And I need a prosecutor. I'm gonna go with Isaac Sneed, appearing on behalf of the people. Miss Underwood, this is the date and time set for contempt of court as well as a pretrial. Mr. Legore, I heard, listen to me, so listen. I heard you say that you fired Miss Underwood. So if you fire your attorney that's a public defender, then you have to hire an attorney or represent yourself. So no, you're supposed to be listening with your ears.
I'm bad.
So no talking, listen. So you've been appointed court-appointed counsel through the public defender's office. I have no jurisdiction or authority over them, nor should I ever. So they are a separate entity. If you want a different attorney in the public defender's office, you have to write to their chief public defender, or Miss Underwood will let them know what you said, but I cannot assign you a new attorney. If you want to fire the public defender's office, then that means you need to either hire an attorney or represent yourself. Do you understand? Yes or no?
I represent myself. I'm grown.
Okay.
Happy
So
Monday.
all right, so Miss Underwood.
Your Honor, I have some real concerns about Mr. Legore's competency at
Yes.
this point.
So Miss Underwood, are you going to be asking for an, are
At
you
this point,
petitioning?
I think
Mr. Legore, put your note down. Put your
I
note
think
down.
I think I would request a forensic as to competency and request that the court sign those orders upon presentation, Your Honor.
And criminal responsibility as well.
Well, they asked that we do. Yes, I'll submit both at this time, Your Honor. Yes.
All right, Mr. Sneed, do you have any objection to her request for competency examination?
None at all. Thank you, Judge.
All right, so Mr. Legore, at this time, I am not going to address your issue to fire the public defender's office because I also have some concerns. So Miss Underwood, I will grant your request for a competency examination. And if you can submit 4 copies of each for signature, I will sign those. I'm going to set a pretrial date out about, let's go May 15, because we should have hopefully a response by then. But if we get a response sooner, we'll bring them back in sooner. And then I will adjourn everything over to that day. His bond is, let me see what his bond is. Miss Adams might know what his bond is quicker than I do. So we have the contempt of court. And I am, Miss Adams, do you know what the bond is?
Trying to pull that up right now, Judge.
I'm looking, sometimes I get it. I think. Yeah, on the underlying file number 24-21671FH, I'm going to change the bond to a 25,000 cash surety bond. I do have some grave concerns about danger to himself and others. And then on the contempt of court, is there a bond on that one, Miss Adams?
I'm looking.
I don't. It says bond continued. So, because I want them to get.
Yeah, I don't see a bond was added on that.
All right, I'll set a bond in the amount of 5,000 on the contempt of court. And that'll be cash surety, just so he's getting credit on everything.
Sorry to interrupt.
Well, no, you don't have to interrupt, but Mr. Legore, we have to be able to hear you and understand you. So I need you to sit forward and speak slowly, okay?
Yep. So,
okay, go ahead, Mr. Legore.
I got a letter saying that I'm not guilty
Okay, you've already pled not guilty, so yep, I've
But,
got that.
I said, I'm not competent, and I would like to request a physically rehabilitation.
That's what we just did, Mr. Legore. They're
Before
gonna,
the
the doctors are gonna
So,
talk to
Mr.
you.
Legore,
Thank
everybody
you.
stop talking. Mr.
I'll come on.
Legore, that's, Mr. Legore, you did enter a plea of not guilty, and we've requested the competency exam, so we're
Appreciate
good.
you,
We've done
Honor.
what-
I comprehend.
All right,
I was trying to be
All right.
rude.
okay, so we'll see you back on May 15th at 8:30 or sooner, Mr. Legore. Thank you.
All right, see you about a month. Appreciate
Bye-bye.
you. Happy Valentine's, your women.
Happy
Your
Valentine's
Honor.
Day to you too.
Hey, Honorwood, thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
I respect you, Your Honor. I was trying to get more in trouble. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, so, Miss Underwood, let's go check through our docket here. So I've got, Mr. Dagger, Miss Adams, oh, it was waived, okay. I guess I can take Randall Lambert. I got to pick up on Randall Lambert, Miss Adams. And
How can I help you?
hi, do you have Randall Lambert?
Randall Lambert, let me check.
He might have been a pickup yesterday.
He's there.
Lambert. Yes, we do.
All right, well, I could see him.
We will get him in, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
So do I still have Mr. Malaro? No, I don't have, and you have Mr. Love at 11 o'clock on Valentine's Day. You have Love on Valentine's Day, Rhonda.
You sentenced that for your own amusement, Your Honor. You picked the day.
I also saved a bunch of divorce judgments from yesterday to sign today. Yeah. All right, can you let Mr. Malaro know I have Johnny Ladd? Well, actually, I have Johnny Ladd from MDOC, but they just didn't bring him. So do you want to cover for Mr. Malaro?
Sure.
Okay, so.
I know
Mr.
he
Sneed-
knows he has it.
Yeah, Mr. Sneed, are you able to cover this one?
Yes, it's my case, Judge. Thanks.
All right. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Johnny Allen Ladd, file number 23-21539FH and 23-21540FH. This is the date and time set for a pretrial hearing in this matter. Mr. Ladd is currently a guest of the Michigan Department of Corrections. Mr. Sneed, do we know if a writ was done for today?
Yes, it was done, Your Honor.
All right, well, he was not brought over, so what I'll do is I'll set this out like, I don't know, let's do March 13 at 8:30 in the morning.
Beware the Ides of March.
Yeah. So Miss Underwood, can you have Mr. Malaro do the stip in order to adjourn? And Mr. Sneed, you can take care of the writ. How's that?
With Mr. Sneed's permission.
Your Honor, that was March 13th.
Oh,
Yes.
it was 13th? I thought I heard 15th. Okay,
No, the 15th is the Ides of March.
right.
For
That's what I thought I
our
heard.
English students who read Shakespeare. Okay.
Ever thus
So,
to deadbeats.
So.
No, I thought I heard the 15th.
It's okay. March 13th. Maybe I said the 15th. What did I say? No, I said the 13th. Okay. All right. So that takes care of Mr. Ladd and Jeremy Sneed is in jail. Did we do Jeremy?
Yes, you did, Judge.
Did I really?
Yeah, you did.
Good for me. Okay, so Mr. Sneed's taken care of. And
Judge,
yes.
I see he had Dennis Clark down for Jackson County Jail, but he's on our jail sheet.
Who is it?
Dennis Clark.
Yeah, I saw that. I can check with the jail. Hold on. Hold on, Mr. Lambert. Well, maybe they brought him over. Shush. Well, you can try reaching the jail. They're not answering for me. All right, Mr. Lambert, let's call your case. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Randall Allen Lambert. We have two files, 21-20499FH and 21-20500FH. So Mr. Lambert, we're here on each file on a request and warrant for probation violation. It alleges that on November 9 of 21, you were ordered to notify the probation department of any address changes. You reported to probation on January 30th of 24, residing at an address with the house number 315. When a home call was conducted on February 9th, it was verified that you had not resided there for several years. Count 2 of that violation of term 12, and these are technical violations. You were ordered to not use or possess any alcoholic beverages, and it looks like the probation officer saw you purchasing 2 40-ounce natural beers. I don't even know what that is, from Meyer gas station. Then we have a non-technical violation that you were ordered not to use any controlled substances, and it's alleged that you tested positive for methamphetamine on February 6th of 24, and you did admit to the use of the same. So you are on probation on file number 21-20499FH for motor vehicle unlawful driving away, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 5 years in prison. And on file number 21-20500, you're on probation for police officer fleeing 3rd degree, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 5 years in prison if you plead guilty or found guilty. So Mr. Lambert, you do have a right to have an attorney represent you here today in all subsequent hearings. Do you want an attorney appointed to represent you?
Yes, please.
Okay. Ms. Underwood, did you receive paperwork from Mr. Lambert?
I not only received the paperwork, but Mr. Lambert discussed his case with me at length yesterday.
Well, aren't you efficient? All right. So Ms. Underwood, how would you like to proceed with Mr. Lambert?
Your Honor, I don't believe there are any future charges coming. Mr. Lambert wishes to accept responsibility and plead guilty to the violations today, Your Honor.
Mr. Lambert, you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you are Randall Lambert, right?
Yep.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Now,
Yes, I am.
Mr. Lambert, I'm gonna need you to speak up for me, okay?
All right. Okay.
All right, good. So, Mr. Lambert, now Ms. Underwood spoke with you yesterday, and I'll appoint her as your attorney. Are you satisfied with her as your attorney and the advice that she's given you?
Yes, I am.
All right. Now, do you understand that you have a right to contest the violation of probation charge and to have a trial on it? Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand that.
Do you understand throughout the trial, you would be presumed innocent until your guilt is proven by a preponderance of the evidence? Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand that.
You have a right to have all the witnesses against you appear at your trial, to have your lawyer ask those witnesses questions, or you may ask them yourself, and to have me order any witnesses you might have to appear at the trial. Do you understand all of that?
Yes, I understand.
You do not have to testify at your trial, and no one can say anything about you not testifying or hold it against you in any way. Do you understand all of that?
Yes, I understand.
Do you understand, on the other hand, that you do have a right to testify at your trial if you want to testify?
Yes, I understand it.
Okay. So, Mr. Lambert, how do you plead to the charge that you violated the terms of your probation by not notifying the probation department of a change of address? Guilty or not guilty?
I plead guilty. Guilty.
Okay. And how do you plead to the charge that you are not to use or possess any alcoholic beverages? And I think Ms. Teskey was in line behind you at Meyer, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that is
Yes,
not
she was.
good luck. Yeah.
No,
So
it
how do
wasn't.
you
It was
So how do you plead to the charge that you violated the terms of your probation by possessing alcohol?
I plead guilty.
All right. And how do you plead to the charge that you violated the terms of your probation by testing positive for methamphetamine and admitting to the use of the same? Guilty or not guilty?
I plead guilty.
All right. So, Mr. Lambert, do you understand by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up the right to a trial, as I've already explained to you?
Yes, I understand that.
Okay. Has anyone promised you anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Has anyone threatened you in any way to get you to plead guilty?
No. No, Your Honor.
If I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
Is it your own choice to plead guilty on these cases?
Yes, it's my own choice.
Okay, so Mr. Lambert, you understand one of the terms of probation is that you are to provide a valid address to the probation officer. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
All right. At one time, you gave him an address that had a house number of 315. Mr. Lambert, when they went to verify that residence, you had not lived at that house for a couple of years. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I was there off and on, but I wasn't living there.
Okay. And then you were ordered not to use or possess any alcoholic beverages, right?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Your Honor.
So was it at it was at the gas station at Meyer, right?
Yeah, I was at Myers gas station.
So you grabbed a couple 40 ounces, you went to pay for them, and I heard Miss Teskey snatched them right out of your hands and put them back, right?
Yeah, that fast. That fast, yeah.
She's everywhere. I swear she's everywhere. But so you knew you weren't supposed to possess alcohol, right?
Yes. I was going through a rampage at the moment. I'm kind of stupid.
Okay.
I feel kind of ignorant.
All right. Now, another term of your probation is you aren't to use any illegal controlled substances. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Did you test positive for methamphetamine on February 6th of 24?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, I did.
And that's because you had used it?
Yeah, just one time. But can I note something?
Sure.
For the record, that was the first time I ever dropped dirty at drug court in over 2.5 years. I've been in drug court for 2 years. I've only dropped dirty one time, and that was the only one time I ever dropped dirty, was just recently. So at least I had at least say that. I'm sorry, but I did good.
Okay.
I mean, I was doing good. I just screwed up there.
Okay. All right. I accept the pleas. They've been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights, and he does have competent counsel. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation, and I will set this matter for sentencing on, let's see, I'm going to set it for sentencing on February 23rd at 8 a.m. And Miss Underwood, Mr. Love has just entered the room. So I didn't know if you wanted to head over or not, but I will set this for sentencing on February 23rd at 8 AM. So Mr. Lambert, somebody, maybe Sarah, will come over and meet with you, and they'll do a probation violation report, and we'll see you back here then on that day for sentencing, all right?
Okay, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Lambert, do you want, I know, Miss Spade. Thank you, Judge. Do you want to be here in person or you want to appear via Zoom?
Zoom's fine.
Okay, that'll be via Zoom. All right, thank you, Mr. Lambert.
Thank you.
Miss Adams, did the jail say anything about Mr. Clark?
Yeah, he is being held in Jackson County for them.
He what?
He's being held in Jackson County Jail for them.
Oh, okay, so obviously they didn't make arrangements for him to be here then. Okay.
Right.
Correct. All right, so we will, hold on, let me call it.
You did set it for next week, Judge.
Okay, good. All right, so. All right, so Miss Underwood, Mr. Love is in the courtroom.
I will come over, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. She's gonna come over and talk to you. Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Yes, Mr. Steen.
I think we're done with people cases. If so, I'm going to log off.
I don't see anything else. So no, I think we're all set. Thank you, Mr. Steen.
Thank you, girl. Have a good morning.
You too.
Did we do some with Johnny Ladd?
Yeah, we didn't do anything because MDOC did not produce him. So I adjourned him to get him. So we adjourned it out to March 13 at 8:30 in the morning.
Judge,
Is this something that Tom Moore's at fault for? Or no.
Yeah, Tom Moore dropped the ball on that.
He said hi.
What were you gonna say, Miss Teskey?
Haley Sebring, you haven't done her yet, right? She's a pickup.
Say who? What?
Haley Sebring.
I'm running out of time though, so.
Okay.
Miss Adams, do you have any paperwork on? Oh, there she is. All right, let me get her.
Middle.
Hey, this is Judge Anzalone again. So evidently you have a Haley Sebring too.
We do.
Can I see her?
Yeah, just a minute. She's downstairs, so let me call down there.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye.
But
Is that a pickup, Judge, Miss Sebring?
It is a pickup. Is she your file?
Don't know, but I'm here, so.
Okay. Miss Adams, do you have a PSI from Mr.? Oh, never mind, I found it. Do you need a break, Miss Nader? You're good.
No, I'm good, Judge. Thank you.
Yes, we're gonna need you one for my lawyer.
She's coming over to meet with you. It's Miss Underwood, right? Yeah, I told her you were here. Who's your attorney?
Miss Underwood.
Yeah, I told her you were here just a minute ago and she's coming over to meet with you. Yeah, she wanted to come over and meet with you. Did you get a chance to read the PSI?
No.
Oh, okay. Do you want to let him look at yours, Mr. Moore? Ms. Sebring?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is in the matter of people of the state of Michigan versus Haley Gracelyn Jeanette Sebring. I have file number 21-20520FH, 21-20521FH, 21-20522FH, 22-21037FC, 22-21038FH, and 21-20382FH. So Ms. Sebring, we are here on multiple things on each file. So we have in each file, hold on, I have to organize all this. We have a probation violation, a probation request and summons for probation violation that was mailed out with a notice for you to appear. And that was filed with the court on December 28th of 2023, which alleges that you violated the terms of your probation and that you failed to report to the probation department December 14 or anytime thereafter. And then you failed to appear for that contempt of court proceedings. So then there is a contempt of court bench warrant, and that carries a maximum penalty of up to 93 days in jail. And that is on each of your files. So on file number 21-20520FH, you are currently on probation for, let me check, absconding or forfeiting bond. So if you plead guilty to the violation on that file, you could be facing a maximum penalty of up to 4 years in prison. Go to that. So then on file number 21-20521FH, you're on probation for police officer fleeing 4th degree. Ms. Teskey's not like Mr. Moore, who always is easy on me and puts the maximum penalty on. So that charge carries a maximum penalty of up to 2 years in prison if you plead guilty or found guilty of that violation of probation. And then on file number 21-20572FH, there's request and warrant for probation violation. And that is a UDA, well, an unlawful driving away of a motor vehicle. And that, if you plead guilty or found guilty, could carry a maximum penalty of up to 5 years in prison. And there's also on those 2 prior files, contempt of courts for failure to appear for the summons for probation violation. And then on 22-21037FC, you are on probation for accessory after the fact to a felony. So if you plead guilty or found guilty on that file, you're facing a maximum penalty of up to 5 years in prison. On file number 22-21038FH, you're on probation for retail fraud 1st degree, and the maximum penalty for that offense is up to 5 years in prison if you plead guilty or found guilty. And again, there are contempt of courts for failure to appear for the probation violation hearing on those as well, on all files. And then on file number 21-20382FH, you are on probation for possession of methamphetamine, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 10 years in prison if you plead guilty or found guilty. So do you understand all that, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we are here, as I said, on those matters, and you do have a right to have an attorney represent you at this and all subsequent hearings. If you can't afford to hire one, we can appoint you one at public expense. Would you like an attorney appointed to represent you?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I am going to appoint Ms. Underwood to represent you. Or Mr. Malaro, you're not covering pickups, right?
Judge, I looked, Miss Sebring is actually Rhonda's case, and she's on her way over there, so.
Right, I won't, okay. So Ms. Sebring, what I'm gonna do is enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. And Miss Adams, tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, can I bring her back?
You have. You have 7 matters plus a jury trial tomorrow morning.
All right, do I have Miss Underwood tomorrow morning?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay. All right, so Miss Sebring, I'm gonna set you over till tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. If I can't see you right at 8 o'clock, I'll see you sometime tomorrow when I'm on a break, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Miss Sebring. We'll see you back tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, Miss Adams, I gotta add all those to the docket. Miss Adams, I have a big stack if you want it.
Okay, I'll be in a minute.
I know what they said too.
Mr. Awuda Coker, good to see you again.
Yes, good morning, Judge.
Long time no see.
It's been a while.
So you just don't cover my region anymore?
I think it's always been Sarah's, so I usually just cover here when she's unavailable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you would fill in more often, I guess, back ways
Yeah,
back.
and I also don't control my schedule really. So
Yeah, that's true. All right, so Miss Adams, I think I'm done with all the jail rooms, right?
I believe so, yes.
All right, boot them all out. Okay. Mr. Malaro, did I forget something with you, or are you good? It is not. Wait, I'm signing this one too. Okay, take this one. I can see her tomorrow in the recess or something. Oh, right.
Most of your sentencing on Friday.
So we do BOP sentencings usually on Fridays, I think, because Judge Olsaver and I rotate the BOPs. So BOPs are violation of probations.
Oh, okay.
So Judge Olsaver and I rotate those. So he either does all Fridays and I do Thursdays on those, but sentencings are always on Thursday and Fridays because there are 5 courts. So we have to and there's only limited number of prosecutors and defense attorneys. So we do our criminal docket on Wednesday mornings, and district court is not supposed to really do a criminal docket on Wednesday morning for felony cases. And then we do sentencings on Thursday and Fridays. I think Judge Kasauker, her sentencings were always on Tuesdays, weren't they? Or was that her BOP day?
That's her birthday.
So Judge Nellie Kasauka, who is just, I adored her. She was a district court judge and she did her violation of probation sentencings on Tuesdays. And I think Judge Sheridan was Thursdays? Fridays. I'm totally off. It's been a long time. And then now the district court judges, I think they do sentencings on Thursday and Fridays, but I don't know if their BOPs have changed. But we do BOPs, show causes on Wednesdays, and then if they're arrested on a BOP, we'll see him whatever that day is, so. Yeah, so our dockets are very heavy in the morning, and then the afternoon is just evidentiary. So like Monday's civil docket all day, so I do motions in the morning and pre-trials in the afternoon. So that would be like judgments of divorces and scheduling orders. And then Tuesdays are evidentiary hearings and trial dates, and Wednesday morning criminal. So, all right. So Ms. Underwood, I have a nice letter from Mr. Coast on behalf of Mr. Love. So I was going to put that on the record for everybody. Okay. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Robert Love Jr., file number 20-19918FH. Miss Underwood, Miss Underwood, Mr. Love has been reporting to Mr. Coast, who is our pretrial services coordinator. And Mr. Coca, we don't really send a copy of this out. I usually just read it the day we come to court. So Mr. Coast wrote a letter to me on February 13th that stated, "Dear Judge Anselm, at Mr. Love's last court date, you told him to pay $50 in December, $200 in January, and $200 again in February. He paid $150 in December, so he paid an extra $100, and he paid an extra $197.20 in January for a total of $597.20. And he is now ahead of paying on his child support for the past few months. So we haven't received a February payment, but that's early. Are you going to pay on that?
There's been money been taken out of my account, 300 been taken out of every paycheck, so I don't have.
Can I see that?
Yes.
All right, so Mr. Love has employment. Can I just see one of those just so I can put it on the record for Mr. Awuda Coker? All right, so.
I mean, but I also want to put on the record, this is not supposed to be happening as well.
Well, do you have, well, hold on a second. Do you have a current child support order? Are they minors? How old's your kids?
Yes, 11 and 14.
So under the law of the state of Michigan, if you are employed, we have the right to take your child support out of your paycheck.
I understand that, but I'm also here going on the 4th year for being charged for the child support.
Do you understand those are two different things, Mr. Love? Your current child supporter and paying off your arrearage on the felony case are two separate things. So let's talk about it a little bit more. So yes.
I do understand that, but I also have documentation which showing that those payments, well, my attorney has documentation to show that those payments have been was being taken care of as well.
Right, but the state of Michigan, the child support division, you can hand those back to them. We'll always put an income withholding in place.
I understand that, but they're taking beyond what we agreed upon. There was the initial.
Well, that's not what you said. Okay. So what is, all right, so what Mr. Love is saying is that there's an income withholding above and beyond what his child support order and what he's supposed to be paying, right?
Exactly.
I believe that, and just if I could interject here, because I know Mr. Love wants me to. That is because I believe his child support changed because he officially got custody of one of these children. And I don't believe that's reflected in the income withholding.
So did he have a referee hearing on that?
No, we decided, we found out, as you called Mr. Anderson last court day.
Yeah.
They've been charging me for Jay Sean all the way up until June 23rd. So the payments that's been taken out are from Jay Sean.
So have you had a hearing to take him off your child support order?
No, I've been so focused on being here.
Okay, so what we're gonna have to do is when you're done today, you're gonna have to go down to front of the court. And you're gonna have to, will she agree that you've had custody?
Who is she? No, she was terminated. Custody was terminated.
Okay.
It was granted by the courts.
So the probate division?
Emergency terminated based on an assault case upon my son.
So her parental rights were terminated?
Exactly.
You had it, okay, so I don't handle those matters, right? You were in front of a different judge.
Right.
Okay, so I don't know what happens there because I don't have access to their system. So I'm trying to help you.
Right.
So if Mr. Anderson, did he say that? I don't think that date, he did verify there was termination, but we have to backdate that, right?
He also said that they had been charging me all the way up until June 23rd.
Okay. So I
23.
And I think usually you have to have like a hearing on it. Miss Adams, let me see here, Jeff Anderson. Let me find 4715.
Hello, you've reached the voicemail.
So let me call Miss McGrain. Are you in your office?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so have you been listening or doing
I just
other
got back
work?
to my office.
Okay, so I'm here with Mr. Love on his felony case, and it's a child support case. And last time we were here, he had stated that he had custody of one of the children. And so we did call down to Mr. Anderson and got some verification. So evidently in the probate division, which I don't have access to records because they're sealed, her parental rights may have been terminated. And so Mr. Jeff, what's his last name? Anderson was not answering his phone. Do we see any orders or anything changing the child support order in the system?
Let me take a look. Judge, do you have that case number handy?
I have his criminal case. What's the mother's name?
I have the docket number, Your Honor.
Oh, what's the docket number, Mr. Awuda Coker?
Yeah, it's 2014-040023.
Okay.
I see that there was an order after hearing in June of 2023. Plaintiff's guardianship of Jayshawn terminated, guardianship of Jariel remains. There was a support order completed in August of 2023. Pulling that up now. The most recent support order that I see has Mr. Love as the payee, not the payor.
That means you're supposed to be paid.
Yes, I just also entered order in which I have, there's one that I had last time that I'm also being paid, just being receiving funds as well.
Right, that's what she just said.
Okay.
So you're the payee.
So-
So
In addition, other funds on here.
do you have any other kids?
Yes, the funds that I'm being charged for on here are based on an agreement that she just signed off about a month ago.
So do you have any other child support cases?
Yes, it just got signed off on from the Nieto case.
Okay. Do you have arrearages on those funds? So to be honest with you, I think that you have to, so Ms. McGrain, I'm thinking at this point, he needs to have a referee hearing to make sure that they audit these files and make sure everything's in the proper place.
I don't know necessarily that a referee hearing is required, but he could petition for an audit for that purpose.
Okay. All right. So, how much is being taken out of your check?
300 and it looks like 331
Every week or every 2 weeks?
every 2 weeks.
So 331 is being taken out of his paycheck every 2 weeks. And you're saying, okay, so just let me get straight. You have 2 child support cases, right?
Yes.
This one we're here on today, where her rights were terminated and you have custody of your son.
Yes.
Is there another child from that relationship or is this
Yes,
just?
there's another child, my daughter, Jariel, which I'm in the process of going to get custody from as well. So
Okay,
this
who
is
has
on
custody of her?
The grandmother.
All right.
Who's the one who called the case on my son, is which I have custody of, in which I'm in the process of going to get custody of my daughter as well.
Okay, so we have 2 children in this case.
Yes,
And we have another case with 1 child?
No, with 3 children on there, but they're 18 and 20, 2 of them are.
Okay, did you have an arrearage on those cases?
I don't know.
So on those other cases, even if they're adults, and I'm just giving you this information for future knowledge, if there was an arrearage, we still keep collecting on it until the arrearage is paid off.
I understand that.
Okay.
And I've seen that. That's why we actually are here on this particular case here. They've always been collected. And that's why we hear about, that's why I'm here disappointed that I'm being charged with failure to pay child support when you've always been collected.
So what happens, and so we don't charge you, obviously the Attorney General charges you.
I understand.
If you have an arrearage high enough, they're always going to charge you. So what I think I should do is Ms. McGrain, I don't know if I can issue a sua sponte order for an audit on his 2 child support files.
I don't see why not, Judge.
Okay, so Ms. McGrain said I can. So what I'm gonna do, Mr. Love, for you, instead of making you go file it, I'm gonna issue an order that there be an audit done on your 2 files. And that'll tell you what's been paid, what shouldn't have been paid, and so forth. And we'll get a copy of that, okay?
I've been triple jeopardy on.
Okay.
I've been paying.
Okay, and maybe
And I
if
never
you're really
got
lucky, you'll be paid up, but I don't know.
That's
So,
what I'm, and I also, in addition, I would like to also add, thank you, to add on record is I also receive a relief of $8,000 on the case after I filed for it, which I only had 8,000, 9,000 in the beginning.
what do you mean you got relief?
Initially, how I got in this particular situation, October 18th of 2019.
I believe 8,000 was forgiven, Your Honor.
Okay, okay. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. Mr. Coker, what I would like to do is adjourn this out. If he's getting money taken out of his paycheck, Mr. Coker, can we not collect through Mr. Coast then?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, Your Honor?
Oh, so he's shown documentation that money is being, like over $600 a month is being taken out of his paychecks. So can I not require him to pay through Mr. Coast, that it just be coming through his income withholding until we get this audit? Do you have any objection to that and adjourn the sentencing?
Yeah, sorry, Your Honor. I don't have any objection to adjourning the sentencing. I do think ultimately we have to come to agreement on what the arrearage is, as that's crucial to him receiving any reduction. So as far as that's concerned, there's no objection to adjourning the sentencing out. And then I think your other question was whether or not his garnishments could go to the court as opposed to in front of the court.
I don't want him to have to pay cash directly if the money's coming out of his checks. You know what I mean?
So again, just on the information I have, Your Honor, it appears that there's currently an obligation that Mr. Love pays $125 a month. I don't know if that's needs to be updated or not based on the recent order, but just based on the sort of MICE systems that I have access to, there it is charging $125 a month. Whether that income withholding covers that obligation, it appears it's doing so. So as far as he made, I will leave that up to the court.
Judge, I'm still showing an active support order for a child in the Danielle Nieto case.
Hold on, Joe. For who, Miss McGrain?
Danielle Nieto is the mother.
So, and who's that child with?
That's Danielle.
The grandmother.
She and I which have the agreement. We just had the agreement, even though I talked to Mr. Anderson, they received that she just signed off on that, in which I'm also still being paid on.
Okay, so everybody pause for a minute. Mr. Anderson, this is Judge Anselone. I am on the record right now. and I have Mr. Love, Robert Love Jr. here. So we got a lot of confusion going on. So he has brought in pay stubs. And what is the total amount per?
$331.27.
So he brought in his paychecks and it shows that bi-weekly $331 and some change are being deducted from his paycheck. Okay.
Okay.
We have a felony child support case with Jay Sean and Jeriel. And it looks like guardianship of Jay Sean was terminated, and Mr. Love, you have that child now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So Jay Sean is living with his dad, and then Jeriel is still living with grandma. Temporarily until further proceedings.
Yes, ma'am.
And then there's another case with Miss Nieto, and that child is in a guardianship with grandma?
No, with his mother, Danielle.
Oh, so I was wondering, what is the income, like, what is he supposed, and I'm sorry, I know I bothered you with this last time, but he's,
No, that's fine.
if he has custody of one kid, was an order entered on that through front of the court? I know there's an order through probate, but it's not the same court. So can you tell me what the charge is on each of those files? Mr. Love also said him and Ms. Nieto entered into an agreement, and that might have been filed with the court. Was it filed with the court?
At the front of the court.
Yeah, and it was filed with the front of the court. So what are we collecting on? What is the arrearage?
Okay, so I show with Danielle, the current charge right now is $261 a month.
Is there an agreement that was filed on there between him and Ms. Nieto?
Let me look here and see if I can find anything.
Because you said that was filed down in front of the court?
Yes, because I also have a contract on which
No.
I pay.
So hold on. So there's still a child support order down there or no?
No, it's not supposed. She signed off about 2 months ago, about a month ago.
She signed what?
She signed off the Robert Raymond Radon Love cases.
Okay.
So I have a contract with her, which I pay her. I've been paying her, which I gave him a copy too. So he
hold
refreshing
on.
his memory, if you will, because I gave him a copy of it.
Yep, so we have in December a note on here that we got a note from Danielle for giving arrears on the case.
How much did she forget?
Looks like about $6,000.
Okay, so what is the arrearage? Is there any arrearage on that file now?
Yeah, it's still charging, and it looks like there's $3,000, $3,073 right now in arrears on that one.
Okay, and there's still a current charge?
Correct.
Of $261 a month?
Correct.
All right, so the agreement, so he's saying she filed something that forgave your $6,000, but didn't stop child support. Do you have a copy of that agreement?
No, she gave it to them.
So
isn't that what he was just talking about?
but he said that what she gave them was a letter forgiving $6,000 of an arrearage, but there's still a $3,000 arrearage left, and then it's still charging. So she didn't opt out in front of the court. So there's still a monthly charge.
Okay, I understand that, but how
Okay.
can they gonna charge $261 a month from that $3,000, and then in the PSI report it say $431? That's more than my checks.
Right. So Mr. Anderson, now on the other file with Jay Sean and Jeriel,
Okay.
what is the status on that file?
So that one is charging, pull this back up here.
And does it?
It shows 100, that one is going to Brenda Dibble, and that one's a $125 a month.
Okay, and does it show he has custody of one of the children?
Yes.
Okay, so it shows he has custody of one of the children. Is there a child support order in place for the mother to pay Mr. Love for the child?
Yeah, she's supposed to be paying him, looks like $125 a month.
Okay, so he's supposed to pay grandma And is she responsible for paying grandma too?
Let me see. Yes.
So she's supposed to pay grandma 125 a month too, or are they splitting?
137 actually.
So she's supposed to pay grandma 137, he's supposed to pay grandma 125.
Correct.
And then mom is supposed to pay Mr. Love 125 a month.
Correct.
Is she paying that?
The last payment we got was, January 31st.
And that was to Mr. Love.
Correct.
Okay. And what's his arrearage on this file?
With Miss Dibble?
Yes.
$7,004.
Does it show that there was a credit for $8,000 at some point?
It just shows that there was the forgiveness. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
Yes.
So it originally was like $15,000.
Correct.
So now it's $7,000.
Correct.
Okay, because the 8,000 was forgiven. All right, and so he has an income withholding in place of 300 and something a month. Is that going to both files?
Let me pull that up here, just one second. Yes, it is going to both files.
Okay, so and that is also a portion of that applying to his arrearage?
Correct.
Okay, okay. And all right, Mr. Love, do you have any questions for Mr. Anderson?
Yes, there's in addition to this audit, it need to be conducted on that 15,000 that he said that was there. Because when I initially filed for the request to discharge state-owed debt from this particular location on this particular date at 10/18/2019, it was a total of $9,073, which the attorney signed.
Can I ask you, what is a request for discharge of state-owed debt?
That's the forgiveness.
Okay.
That's the documentation that you use for the forgiveness, in which they forgave me like 8,000, which initially I had 9,000, which I don't know how it got up to 15,000, because they've been taking they've been taking money since then.
So Mr. Anderson, either I can have an order prepared, or could I ask it sounds like we need an audit, just so Mr. Love, we have a clear idea of everything that's been credited, deducted, added, whatever it might be. Is that something you can put a request in for, or do you want my staff to do?
I can do that. I can put in I think he has to have a referee hearing.
Yeah.
For that, yeah. So I can do that.
Could we do that on both files then?
Yeah.
Okay, so he'll get a notice in the mail for a referee hearing then?
Yep.
Okay, is there anything else, Mr. Love, you want me to ask Mr. Anderson? Who's been?
Have the money that they was taking out, charging me for Jay Sean from January up to June 23rd. How much is that, and is that going to be compensated on this particular case?
Okay, so what he's asking about is because there was a period of time that the probate paperwork didn't make it to the front of the court, and he was being charged for both children.
Okay.
He'll probably need a credit for Jay Sean going back.
Yep.
Okay.
That's typically how that would work.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Anderson, for doing that order for referee hearing on the audits on both files, and then the question of whether or not there's been a credit for Jay Sean.
Okay, yep, not a problem.
All right, thank you, Mr. Anderson.
Thank you.
All right, so, all right, thank you for being organized. So it looks like at this point, I'm gonna adjourn your sentencing. Mr. Anderson will put a request in for a referee hearing, and that will deal with having an audit done on both your files, and also whether or not there's been a credit, okay? So, Mr. Love, it's kind of a pain in the butt because probate is a different division of the court, and I have no access to their documents. Front of the court is under the federal government and restrictions, like they have federal guidelines. So I don't have access to their stuff to some extent, and then this. So hopefully we'll get answers at that referee hearing. So I'm gonna set this out about 6 weeks. Okay? I'm comfortable, Mr. Whitaker, with it just being his income withholding and us not making him pay anything over and above that at this point. Are you okay with that, Mr. Whitaker?
That's fine with the people, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Coast is on here and Mr. Moore. So I'm actually gonna set sentencing for, let's see, it's Valentine's Day. Let's go to, do you mind if I go to April 26th? All right, so I'm gonna set it over to April 26th at 8:15 in the morning, Mr. Love. We've already got the pre-sentence report. You had ample time to read it.
Yes, we're gonna straighten that out because that was some miscalculations. It said that I should be paying $431 a month.
Well, that's all gonna be cleared up at your referee.
Okay, thank you. In addition, me and my attorney, appreciate you, Ms. Underwood. We have some other documents that we want to enter into evidence, which I think will clear up some.
So you want part of, do you want those to be part of the pre-sentence report, or you want copies sent down to friend of the court for the referee?
They don't gave me these, but these part of the pre-sentence report, I mean, that.
Okay, so Mr. Moore, could you get a copy of those documents today?
Well, here's the thing, I think we need to wait for everything because like what he's going off of, that pre-sentence report was done before 2023. Right? Okay. So you're talking that there's a lot of things that have transpired since then.
Okay.
We've been delayed.
Okay, so Mr. Love, hold on to that. You'll get a notice of hearing from the friend of the court for referee hearing. Obviously, Ms. Underwood can't go with you to the referee hearing. They're via Zoom, so you'll get that notice in the mail. And then that paperwork's from friend of the court, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
So they should have copies of it. But what I will tell you is, just in case, make a copy of all the documents you want them to look at that referee hearing. And then drop it off like a week before the referee hearing and tell at the front desk of the friend of the court and say, these are documents from my referee hearing.
Okay.
Okay. And they'll review them that day. And I think we're good.
Thank you very much.
All right. All right.
Thank you.